Welcome to the Style Guru Unfiltered. So you know what that means. Nothing is off limits. I'm G, the creative mind behind the Style Guru Clothing Boutique, and your host. Join me for real, raw conversations. And if you think this is just about clothes, you're wrong. This is about lifestyle, culture, and everything in between. So let's get unfiltered. So with me, I have an Emmy award-winning lifestyle manager, founder of the Mopkins Group LLC, a legend in apparel, footwear, and fashion industry as a whole, and even more recently in the wine and liquor industry. I have the Ty Mopkins with me today.
Wow, you added the Ty Mopkins.
The Ty Mopkins.
Next time I do something, you gotta bring me out the way you just did all that. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for being here. Now I just want to roll straight into it because there's so much I have to ask you because you hold like a wealth of knowledge and you've been making moves and sound in the city and beyond for a very, very long time. Okay. So first things first, how did you get started in the fashion industry?
To be honest with you, wow. I'm pretty much gonna date myself. Okay. So this was like, I got started in the fashion industry maybe in the late 80s, early 90s, just by coming up, like, you know, especially in our Detroit culture, right? So a lot of people had role models and things like that. I had role models, but my role models was the street guys. So I came up in the era where, you know, hip hop was just coming aboard and, you know, the fashion from hip hop was taking over when you had like the sneakers that ran, well, I'm from Detroit, so I'm gonna say gym shoes. Okay. You know, I've been in the industry. Yeah, it's a difference. I've been in the industry too long where they say sneakers, but this Detroit, so we're gonna say gym shoes. Right. So you had like the Adidas, the Filas, the Reeboks, the Nikes, and all that stuff. So some of my first role models were street guys like Young Boys Incorporated, and I used to always watch the way they dressed from head to toe. One thing about somebody from Detroit, right? You can always tell they from Detroit by the way they dress. Because we're going to be clean from head to toe, and we're going to match every little spectacle of us, from the stitching in our pants to the hat, to the glasses we wear, to everything, right? So I took a love for fashion with that. And then my late father, he used to always dress. Like my dad, I only saw my dad probably wear jeans twice in his life. My dad came from the era where you put on slacks, lizards, gaiters, and things like that. So, yeah, the hats and all that, right? So I would say I got into fashion in the late 80s, early 90s, and it adapted to me when I started my career at the iconic streetwear store called Strictly Sportswear on 7 Mile and Archdale. So that's where I got my start at. So that's why I fell in love with it. That's why I learned the game, and, you know, that's what carried me to the point to where we at today.
Nice. So are you self-taught in this industry, or did you go to school for, like, how did you like strive to elevate and make, because pretty much you have such an expansive network. Like, when did you realize how important that was and start to build that?
I would say, so I didn't go to school for any of this. Okay. Everything was hands-on. So it's like I was thrown in the water and either sink or swim. And I learned a lot of my stuff from Strictly Sportswear, from the late, great Dorothy Hamlin and her son, Calvin Hamlin. So I already knew how to dress. So I just love, to me, like, I look at, you know, how a painter take a paint and his brush and a canvas. You know, so I'm an artist when it comes to dressing. I love dressing people. Like I can see you, or I can see somebody else and envision them wearing this stuff and not looking like nobody else. Right. So I always had the gift, and always had the gift of the gab too, where I can always sell things and do things like that. So I didn't go to school for it. I was more self-taught and hands-on. And I think you said something about what it's like to have a list of like people and contacts and all that. Your contacts will carry you forever, whatever you do and whatever you can do. So now, as we talk later on in the interview, you'll see what I mean by that when we talk about certain ventures that I'm doing now. Right. Yeah. Right.
And that's definitely, I've learned that from my late father. Right. Because even his reputation that he built and the word he kept, it carries on even into me and my network. So it's very important in whatever you do. Oh yeah. To build that network. Oh yeah. So
you got to have a clean image. Can't have not a single dirt on your name. Like I tell people all the time, I may mess up my personal credit, but I'm never gonna mess up my street. Okay. Because you can't rebound from that.
And that's very true. Yeah. You never can come back from that. Yeah. Now you said something about envisioning people and like styling them
Right.
or seeing them in an outfit where they look like no other.
Right.
Is there a difference to you between style and fashion?
You know what? That is a great fucking question. We can cuss on here. We can cuss.
Yeah.
That's a great fucking question. Like, out of all the interviews I've done in my life, nobody's ever asked me that shit.
You heard it here. Okay.
Listen, because I tell people all the time, right? Your body is a blank canvas, right? There is no such thing as trend, because you are the trend. So it's like you are the one that makes the brand. The brand doesn't make you.
Okay.
That's why I cringe sometimes when I see people, and it's nothing against people that do it, that billboard, the name brand stuff all over from head to toe and all that. Listen,
Gosh. Yes.
I love seeing people just in what they want to wear. Your expression of how you dress and all that. Just because you got on $20,000 worth of clothes, that person can go somewhere else, especially women, right? Mm-hmm. You guys have it the easiest when it comes to style and fashion, because guys, it's like an image we got to portray where we got to look this way and do that. Y'all do it so effortlessly where y'all can go certain places, and shameless plug, I'm not trying to plug them, but y'all can go to Target and buy a nice little sweater and still kill them with like some leather skirts or things like that, some boots and all that stuff. So I really think that it is a difference into fashion and to style. Style is what you make it. Fashion is what the industry try to tell you what it is.
And I say that all the time.
Yeah.
I say it all the time.
Yeah.
And and I always say it doesn't mean you can't, dabble in the trends. Like,
no, you can
but
do
you
it.
Still make it what you look like add your touch to it.
I tell everybody that you are the brand. The brand don't make you.
Exactly.
You is how you put it together.
It's in you, not on you.
There you go. Because you can wear all that stuff and still be corny. I'll leave it at that.
Every day.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Now, what are some pointers you would give to someone in the fashion industry trying to elevate and scale, like me? I'm asking true questions that I want to hear.
Okay.
Because you've helped a lot of brands elevate.
Right.
So.
Right. I would tell people, listen, if this is what you really want, it's going to break your heart. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to want to quit. You're going to want to stop, just like in anything that you love. But if this shit keeps you up at night, if this shit gives you knots in your stomach, if this shit makes you where you even cry over this shit, you got to keep going, because your breakthrough is going to come, right? Because if it was easy, right, the whole cliche thing, if it was easy, everybody be doing it. You got to even look, even in our city, right? Look how many people has come and gone doing this. Mm-hmm. And I'm really about to date myself again, because now going on, this is my fourth decade.
Ooh.
My fourth decade doing this. And every decade I have elevated and reevaluated myself to now where it's like you wouldn't even know that I was in the game that long. I started in 1995. So this is my fourth decade.
So is that what you say keeps you in the game, like reevaluating, being able to go along with those changes and reinvent yourself?
Oh yeah, because you know what? Because if you stay stuck, you get lost. So now you got to look and see, and I didn't change with the different trends, or I may have kept doing what I was doing, but I just added a little twist to it. Like, one thing for me, right? I'm always looking for the next. Mm-hmm. Like in my field, what I'm doing now, I'm already on 2026.
Yeah.
I'm already doing it. So I already forecast and see what is going on. The one thing that God has gave me a gift for is to see the forecast and what's coming up next. And if it's coming up next, let me put my little twist on it so it doesn't look like how everybody else doing right now. And you got to be different. You got to stand out. Sometimes standing out makes the road a little bit longer, but it gives you longevity. Because the one thing I never wanted to be was so-and-so or old boy. Meaning that y'all have a conversation, right? Y'all be like, hey man, whatever happened to old boy? Yes. Whatever happened to so-and-so? You won't say that about me. You definitely know my name from here on to whenever we sit down and whenever it's time to go home.
And that's facts, because like I said, I've known your name before I've ever met you.
Right.
So I definitely know, and I might not have known exactly what you were in, but I knew that you made an impact.
Yes.
So
I appreciate that.
You definitely ain't old boy and won't be.
I appreciate that. So that was always the one thing that I tell people. Stay the course, because it's going to get tough. Every day is not easy. It's just like life. Every day is not easy. It's not, but if this the shit that keeps you grounded and you just cannot stop thinking about it and you go without to keep this going, because like this beautiful establishment you have here, right? I know you didn't went without personal stuff to have this grow. And I know that you didn't walk the floors in here before and have conversations with yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is just a testimony and integrity within itself for you to keep going, and it's going to happen.
You're like giving me chills because I'm literally in that season where I have to say no to a lot of things because I'm in a season of sacrifice. Like I'm a newly, 100% entrepreneur.
Right.
And so everything that you're talking about, I'm literally currently going through.
Right.
And I think because I am following passion, it's giving me the ability to still persevere through those feelings because I know this is what I love. I know I'm meant for this. And I know it won't be easy. So I appreciate those words.
So would you say your passion is up here?
It's definitely.
Now sprinkle a little bit of faith in that.
Okay.
And then watch it flourish. That's what I would tell anybody. If this your passion, sprinkle some faith into it too. And watch it flourish. But you got to put in the work. Nobody's going to knock on the door.
Right.
You got to get them way to get them inside here. Yes. And so that's the one thing that I actually made an Instagram post about it today too, because I'm currently working on a lot of stuff, right? And I remember it was a time when I used to see people that, and this is not a knock towards nobody, right? That I felt was less qualified than what I was doing, but they was getting a lot of notoriety about it.
I know where you're going.
Then I had somebody pull me to the side and be like, Ty, it's not that they're better than you, they just outworking you. Now, once you start getting back into your zone and getting back into your bag and getting back to what the fuck made you, you ain't gonna have these questions no more. And I was like, say no more. You just gotta work. You gotta outwork. If you know that somebody's putting in 10 hours, you need to go put in 14 hours. And you gotta put in the distance. You know what I'm saying? I never envy anybody, right? It's old saying, I never got bitter, I just went and got better. Yeah.
I love it. So when you, because everybody, and for you to be in it as long as you have, you get in ruts, like places of ruts.
Oh, yeah, you sure do.
How do you come up out of that?
Well, once again, the passion with the faith. And then you just go back to the drawing board. Like, listen, nobody ever gets this shit 100% right. Nobody ever gets 100% right. So, and even like in business, right? So I say this a lot because I really want people to understand this. I know what it's like to be a business owner too, right? So I know what it's like to make $20,000 in one day. And I know it's like not to have a sale or a person walk in the door for 2 days in a row. So my thing is this. You got to keep working on your craft and your style, and you got to become an octopus, meaning that you got to have a hands on everything that you have to do, like what you're doing here. You're marketing your store here. So this is another avenue with this.
Right.
So people see this, and it's a win. I tell people all the time, I have lost more than I've won. It's just that my wins are so big and enormous, you forget about the losses, but I don't. Everything I put out don't hit.
Yeah.
It don't hit, but I just grab it in enough time where I don't dwell on it and regroup, repackage it, dust it off, and then throw it back out there again.
Yeah.
Just like when people talk about social media and their posts where they don't get the likes or the comments or things like that. I really wish social media would have a thing on their page where you have looks. That's why the stories is so important.
Yes.
Because if you go to your stories, you'll see that more people looked at your stories than even liked your thing.
Yes.
So that's what it is. And I never want us to get discouraged about that. I just want you to understand that sometimes you're going to have more L's than victories, but you just got to make sure the victories are so enormous that people forget about the losses. But we don't. We don't forget about them.
Yes, and that makes our story.
There you go.
That's why you're the great and I'm interviewing you, right? Now, when you hear Ty Mopkins, you automatically associate starter jackets.
Right.
How did this come about?
You know what? Actually, this is my 10th year doing them this year. This is my 10th anniversary. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, the president of Starter is my big brother. His name is Carl Banks. He's out of Flint, Michigan. He played in NFL for the New York Giants, won some Super Bowls with them, went to Michigan State. And I remember I reached out. Yeah. I mean,
it's okay.
But you do know blue and yellow makes green. If you mix the two together,
we go.
If you mix the two together, blue and yellow makes green.
Moving on.
So so we had a mutual friend, which is a hip hop icon in the fashion industry, named April Walker. She started this company called Walker Wear, and she was a great friend of mine. Well, she still is. And I reached out to her because I seen that Carl Banks was revamping Starter again, and I was like, yo. I need to get a hold of him. I need to talk to him. I need to get some things going and all that. So she connected the two. And me and Carl met several times before our first initial conversation about it. And so, he gave me a chance. I think it was the Hometown Advantage, the Detroit Flint Connection, yeah. DFC, rest in peace, Breed. And we just started creating magic. And this was during the time I was at Mr. Allen's. So I was the creative director and the buyer and merchandise manager and everything that you could think of for Mr. Allen's. And so 10 years later, we still here.
And that's where that connection comes into play.
See, once again,
mm-hmm.
People always say that you don't burn no bridge, but, you don't necessarily have to burn a bridge. You just got to cross over it and still keep all your lanes open. I got some stories that will be here for 5 hours telling you how people has burnt me in this industry and sure. Things like that. But you just keep going. Yeah. So it's been 10 years this year.
I love it. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, a little birdie told me.
Was it a little birdie or
a big birdie?
Okay.
I'm going to ask.
It's always these damn birds.
I'm going to say 2 words.
Okay.
And I just want you to let me know.
I don't even want to hear. Okay.
What it means to you.
Okay.
And just what it brings about. Roselawn and Elmhurst.
Wow. It's everything. If it wasn't a Roselawn and Elmhurst, it wouldn't be me. That's where I was born and raised at, the 12,000 block of Roselawn. That's where I learned how to network. It may have not been the right way to network, but that's where I learned to network. That's where I learned how to market. That's where I learned how to promote. That's where I learned how to get it. And like I said, it may not have been the right way, but you got to understand this. And I'm not glorifying it, and I'm not even trying to tip the hat to it. But some of the best entrepreneurs come from the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Because we survived that stuff. And I tell people all the time, too, it's like, I used to think the streets was tough.
Yeah.
This corporate industry stuff, it's very, very, very scandalous. It's to the point where it almost want to make you bring your street side up out of you. But you can't. But you learn to deal with it. So when you say Roselawn and Elmhurst, that's Ty Mopkins. You might as well say Ty Mopkins if you say Roselawn and Elmhurst.
So we need to go have a whole commencement and change the street sign.
We're working on that. We're working on that.
Yes.
We're working on that. But it wouldn't be just for me. It would be for all of the others that came before me as well too. So, one thing I always do, it's never about me. That's why when you see me sit down and I talk to people, always big up my city, always big up where I got my start at, and always big up the people around me. Because it's just not Ty Mopkins. There's so many people that played a part into Ty Mopkins. And that's the one thing that I'll never forget, and that's the one thing I would never sell short. Because another thing I always say too, right? Never trust someone that can't go back to their old neighborhood and get love. I go there and I'm not Ty Mopkins, I'm Ronnie.
Okay.
Because they know the little kid that grew up there. They knew the little hustler regardless of what we was doing. And I still go there. That's why when I first won the Emmy, first place I went was Roselawn and Elmhurst. Took the picture right there in front of the street sign, shared it with all the neighbors, took pictures with people with it and all that, because that's what got it into me. That's what instilled me that whole block.
That says a lot about you, your character, integrity, and it plays a part into having longevity. And again, that network and that connection.
Yes.
And I think in today's world, it says a lot about the people that came before you too.
Right.
And a lot of people today don't like to kind of branch out and teach others, not realizing that, you know how good that makes you look? When you are able to elevate others and put them out into the world, even if they become better than you?
Oh, of course. That's a blessing. One thing I've always tried to inspire with me was to create my family tree. And I love when people like Ty Haygood call me, and when people from all over calls me and, hey, got advice and all that stuff. Because guess what? I know how to give because it wasn't too long that I had to receive. So when you hold things like this, you can't accept new blessings. So I'm an open book for any and everybody. One thing about it, nobody will ever tell you that they came to me and I shut them out of information, regardless of who you are and what you do. I got time for everybody because one time somebody had time for me. and I'm still going to people. So people look at this persona like Ty Mopkins, but shit, Ty Mopkins still got to go to people too.
Yeah.
You know, I still go to people for advice. One of my mentors in this game is a hip hop legend, is Carl Kanai. So I still talk to him. One of the greatest designers of all time came from the city of Detroit. His name is Maurice Malone.
Mm-hmm.
So I still talk to Maurice about things. You know, I still get the knowledge from so many people.
Yes.
That it's just not me. It's bigger than me. And people don't understand your longevity and your name lasts longer when you help people. It takes a lot for me not to want to help you.
Yeah.
But it's nothing for me to say, hey, try to do this, and try to do that. But the most hard thing is if the people really want to listen to it. Because some people think that, well, you did it, how come I can't do it? Well, you got to put in the work for it. And a lot of things now, when I talk to people, they don't want to put in the work. They want you to do it for them.
Yeah, easy. They think it's
easy. Yeah, but no.
And it's not. And I'm a true testament of you because you didn't have to come here. I'm new on this, you know? And so for you taking out your time.
Well, once again, it's the connection thing. I got a phone call from Sino. He said, hey, I need... You ain't even got to explain to me. You just tell me where you need to be.
Yes.
You know, and that's the type of people that I have around me. You see what I'm saying? So they know. Because if I was to call him, he ain't gonna, dog, you ain't gotta give me no fucking lecture.
Right.
What time you need me there? And we there. That's how we gonna do it.
Yes. It's important.
Yeah.
Now, we spoke about Roseline and Elmhurst, but that rolls me into you getting in the wine and liquor industry, and you have a wine named Roseline, and my fave, Eye Candy. How did you get over into that industry?
Well, you know what? I've been blessed to be in this industry, the fashion industry, for all these years. So I done been to every type of party you can imagine. Every type of party you can imagine. Whether it's with Nike, Adidas, Pony, Starter, however you want to think about it, right? I've been to all these star-studded events, walked the red carpets and done this stuff, right? And when I go to these events, right, they're drinking stuff that's not represented by us. Now, people can say they the face, because people say they own this, but they the face of it. They don't own it. Maybe one or two, right? So I said, you know what? The next time I go to one of these celebrations, we're going to be drinking some shit that I helped create or I done because I feel like I can do this too, because I feel like if anybody going to get paid off of us and market us, it's going to be us. So one of my great friends, James, which go by Skrill, we was talking one day, and I said, man, you know, I got this dream, man, that I want to have my own wine, right? Because I done dibbled and dabbled, and, you know, I've been out here for a long time, so I didn't drink a lot of stuff, right? And he was like, man, I may have an opportunity for you because I just linked up with these young brothers out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, called Motu VJ. You got Jonathan, Willie, and, you know, a couple other people that does it as well. And Willie the Kid, and he was like, let me introduce you to them because maybe we can set up something with you. And it's all black owned. It's all minority owned. Let's sit up and have a conversation with you. And I said, well, bet, let's talk. And once I kicked the idea with them, it was a no-brainer. And one of their partners, too, is Jamil. And we had a conversation. I was like, I want to do a wine. I don't want to do a hard liquor, not just yet. Yeah. I want to do something because now I'm at the age where I'm transitioning. Where we want to be mellow, you know, you want to smoke a nice cigar, you want to have a nice glass of wine, you want to do this, do that. And they already was killing the market with your favorite wine, Eye Candy. And so they was like, well, if you did a wine, what would you want? How would you want it to be, and what would you want to call it? And I said, well, I would like for it to be like a nice rosé wine. And then once I said rosé, I said, hold on, wait, we got to call it Roseline. I was like, because it has to be from where I'm from and what it represents. And then the team got together. Actually, Willie came up with the coordinates. So if you look at the bottle of Roseline, it actually has the coordinates on the side of the bottle that if you type in the coordinates, it'll take you right to the block I grew up on.
Love that. I did not know that.
Yeah, it takes you like that. And on the back of the bottle, it's a nice tribute to my mother and father. You know, and I said, let's raise a glass to the ones that are here and let's raise a glass to the ones that's not here in honor of my mother and father. You know, so everything I do, it's going to have a message and it's going to have a purpose. So now we're actually, I find it funny that you asked me about Roseline and Elmhurst, because now we have another wine coming out soon, and the name of that wine is called Elmhurst.
Of course.
So, you know, we're constantly working, we're constantly networking, we're constantly building. But that spirit industry is a monster.
Is it?
It's harder work than retail. because now it's a drug, not like a hard drug,
Right.
but it's alcohol.
Yeah.
So it's something that you got to take a class on. It's something that you got to learn about the different textiles of the grapes. You got to learn the different pores. You got to learn the different smells, the flavors, and things like that.
Yeah.
So I really dug in deep with that and got a hold to that. And I'm still learning as we go. It's just that, fortunately, that it's falling right along in what we're doing. So as we're growing, you'll see more from that.
What I take away from that, because when you said earlier, like nothing good comes easy, right?
No, not at all.
But when you are in your purpose and down the right lane, everything falls in line and in place, you know? So I love hearing that. And I love when it's for community and when there's intention behind everything you do. It just all comes together for everybody, you know?
And the one thing about community, like, you know, I applaud everybody that do things and give back. I've always been the one that not showcase what I do, because I'm the type of person that I'm not going to be that person that take my phone and be like, hey, look at me, I just gave this person $100, or I just fed this unfortunate person. I give back to a lot of charities, and the charities know who I give back to. I just never been keen on saying, yeah, man, I just gave $100,000 to this organization. I just gave $5,000 to that organization. I've done it, and I would continue to do it very discreet. And if they decide they want to tell about it, then that's on them. Because I don't want to be that person that you always say, oh, here you go again. He doing this for this. He doing this for that. So, yeah.
In a way, it takes from it.
Well,
I don't know.
It does, and maybe it makes that person feel good that they're doing that, but you should just do it and keep no record of it. It's an old saying, you know, we don't keep records of the favors. We just do it.
And that's how I like it.
Yeah.
I pretty much know how you're going to answer, but I just want to hear it from you.
Let's see how good you is. Let's see.
How would you describe your style?
Me.
Just you.
Just me.
You wear whatever you feeling like.
Yeah, I just put on what I put on, and you know what I do is, like, I go left, and I just watch everybody. Like, everybody do this, I said I'm about to go do this, because I was always told, how can you stand out if you look the same? So kind of like when you walk around here, right? It's different pieces in here that you're not going to see anywhere, and so a lady can come in here and have the confidence that when she step out of here, she entrusted in you and your buying power and your skill and your taste and your flavor, that she's not gonna look like everybody else at the club this week.
Hello?
You see what I'm saying? So I would just rate my style as me, because fashion is what you want to wear. You are the trend center because you wear it.
Yep.
You know, like I stated earlier, you are the brand. You see what I'm saying? So you can put together, like how you put all this together, right? Mm-hmm. You know it's football season, so you did a nice little play right here.
Mm-hmm. And Ty Mopkins.
I mean, I wish this would have been maize and blue, but you know, I get it. You wore the green and white. I get it. So you know, and the things like that, I would just say my style is me. Just like your style should be you.
Yes.
You don't see nobody dressing like you, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Better not.
Okay.
Now, I want to talk about trends and some fashion trends that are coming about or are in, and see your take on them.
Right.
It's crazy because I had my first one. Your take on ankle socks, crew socks, or no socks?
Me, you know, I got some dope ass ankles. So
so you want the ankles to show?
I want the ankles to show, you know, things like that. So I wear no shows.
Okay.
But it all depends on the style, that's what you're doing, right? Like I know right now that people are wearing more of the high socks now with the shorts and all that. Mm-hmm. I personally never been a fan of that, but I get why they're wearing it, because socks has become a very important piece of your ensemble now.
Yes.
You know, you got sock companies now that's making just as much as clothing companies.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, I won't say the sock's name because they don't send me shit. So, but it's socks companies out there that's making millions of dollars.
Oh, I know.
Just off of the different 3/4, the high cut. Me, I'm more of a no show. Plus, I think the socks take away from when you're wearing dope ass shoes. So let me just be let my ankles be naked because I got some dope ass ankles.
Well, it depends. When I want to show my anklet, yes. But most of the time I got on some crew socks. My son hates it. He's like, could you push them down some? I be having them straight up too, but it depends.
But that's
on the
dope
look.
for women though.
Yeah.
But women, y'all can get away with so much shit. Like I said before,
Yeah.
you can pull them up or you can slouch them down and be slouch socks.
Yep.
Things like that.
Yep.
So yeah, I get you.
Now, what about metallics? They've been seen like on the spring, summer, and pre-fall runways. How are you feeling about metallics for men?
I love metallics for my Emmy Award winning party. I had on some metallic ponies.
Yeah.
I had on the pink metallic ponies. So I love metallic. Listen, anything that's gonna get attention, I love that shit. But you can't be afraid. I don't even want to say pink. I want to say more like mauve.
Yes.
So
I like mauve.
I like it's mauve or salmon. So with me, I push the envelope. I wear metallic. Some of my favorite shoes that I got is metallic shoes. So when I did the creative thing with Pony, we did a whole metallic collection. When I did the creative thing with Starter, we did a whole metallic thing. You got to get out of that, not you, but people got to get out of that frame where that people think that guys can't wear metallic. Now, we're not about to wear the whole puffy and mace suits again.
You don't want the whole jumpsuit?
But, no, not the whole jumpsuit. But I could touch some shit here, touch some shit in my hat, and things like that, and we still look dope. So I'm all for metallic.
And that's the thing people need to realize. Like, you can, if you like something, you can play with it in accessories. It doesn't have to be a full-blown out.
It doesn't have to be full-blown.
Yeah. What about long sleeves undershirts, like Y2K style? It seems like that's coming back. Like, you wear the short sleeve flannel or short sleeve Carhartt, whatever, and put a thermal under. How do you feel about that?
I've never went away from that. I love that. You know, I'm the type of person that always wore a hoodie in the summertime too.
Really?
So I'm with that because, put it like this, maybe a good month out the year, we still in Michigan.
Yeah.
It still get cold sometime here. So especially if I know I'm getting dressed for the day. And you know
Layer.
what? Yeah, you layer and you can always pull up the sleeves and all that stuff. So I'm definitely a fan of that. And I see that being even bigger next year.
Yeah. Yep. So you would do the hoodie with shorts?
I do it all the time.
Yeah. See, I love it. I know some people try to...
I really don't stop wearing shorts until it's like 55 degrees.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I like being cold, so I have no problem. Clearly, it's cold in here.
Yeah,
but-
that's cool.
It's cold.
I love it. But no, I'm the type of person that if I had to, I wear shorts year round. And I'm the type of person that even when I wear my pants, right, I wear a lot of pants where I just pull my pants legs up all the time anyway.
Yeah.
I listen, I got some dope ass legs.
Show them.
Bang.
Show them. Now, I want to get into your playlist because I love music.
Go ahead.
I always say, I just regurgitated that there is a song out here for every emotion that you're feeling. So I always like to talk about songs too. So I'm going to give you just a few scenarios if you want to hear the song choice.
Okay.
What do you listen to when you have a creative block?
What I listen to if I have a creative block? That's a great question too. Okay. So, of course, my favorite artist is Jay-Z.
Okay.
So, when I get a creative block, I always listen to What More Can I Say?
Oh, yeah.
Lately, the song I've been listening to, because one thing about me, I'm not cocky, I'm not arrogant, I'm very humble and all that. But lately, I've been on my Jeezy, if I'm being honest, song.
Oh.
So, it's like, sometimes you gotta throw your stats out there, right? Especially when people think they sleeping or they forget about you. So lately I've been listening to "If I'm Being Honest" by Jeezy.
So straight hustle music. Hustle.
Oh yeah. I'm come on from Detroit.
Yes. What song matches the vibe when you envision your Roseline wine? Like if you're like the setting of pairing and cigar, what song plays? Like when you're enjoying that wine.
If I'm pairing Roseline with a cigar,
like on a chill night, yeah. What song? What's the vibe that would complete that?
Oh,
like what song?
Phil Collins, "In the Air Tonight."
Oh, okay.
Of course.
That's a vibe.
Of course.
Because you know so many people, I'm sure going out can be like a social overload at times.
Right.
What song do you play as soon as you get in the car to unwind?
This may be funny, but if people know me, they know me that my favorite song of all time is Bobby Brown, "Every Little Step." So I would listen to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Or anything New Edition.
I like that.
Like not my type of girl, New Edition. If it is in love. So
you got a
all
dope
that.
playlist.
Yeah, and one of my good friends and one of my mentors is Michael Bivins. So I'm probably the unofficial 7th member of New Edition.
Nah, you gonna get up and do it.
I know all the moves.
What?
If need be, I'm there. Okay.
Oh my God, we gonna have to bust a move for something.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Now I want to pop some tags with you.
Go ahead.
So I'm
Wait,
going
that's dope. What segment is this? What's it called?
I'm about popping tags.
Okay, let's go.
So I'm gonna put a product on the screen, and you just have to guess how much it is. Why you look at me like that?
Come on.
All right. So this is the first one. We have this Boxy Moto jacket.
Mm-hmm.
How much you think it is?
Okay, so back when this was like, I know it's in style now, but now the crop thing is happening all over. And this is leather, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, faux leather, I think.
Okay, well, okay. So where I'm from, right, this would have been like $1,400 back in the day because a company like Davucci would have made this.
Oh, yes.
Things like that.
Oh, you taking me back.
Come on now. But now, like you said, it's full, so I would say that's like $350.
Boo-hoo. $52.50.
Wait, so if I get it wrong, what you say? Boo-hoo?
No, that's where it's from. That's the website.
Oh, boo-foo?
Boo-hoo.
Oh, boo-foo. Like, buy us, fuck you? No, I mean, I'm just saying.
No. BOOHOO. Boohoo. Boohoo.com.
Oh, so you ain't getting this shit for like 3 months if you order it. Oh, this coming from over there. Okay, come on. Next. Now I see what the game is.
But it's all over.
Now, what's it called again?
Papa Tags.
No.
Oh, Boohoo.
Spell it again.
BOOHOO.
Yeah, you ain't getting that shit for like 3 months. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
This sneaker.
This a gym shoe. Okay, so to be honest with you, Fila did something like this a couple of years ago, and it was like $120. But now, since you in this, what's it, Boohoo?
No, they're not all Boohoo.
What brand is this?
Okay, I'm not telling you until you guess the price.
Okay, so I would say this is. Okay, so you did Boohoo first, right? So we're gonna come back over here. So this shit probably $1,500. So I say $1,500.
See, I thought you was gonna see when you zoomed in. This is Versace, and they are on sale right now for $420, but they were $1,000.
Okay, so we almost there.
We almost there. We all over the map.
Right, you Boohoo, buy us, fuck you. Okay, come on.
So you zooming in on tags and stuff.
No, I'm not. I'm zooming in. I'm looking to see what it is. Come on. Okay, so you know what? This style is about to take over this fall, right?
It is.
Because people are gonna wear these cutoff shirts and all this stuff with the thermals, like you said. Or some people wear a thin hoodie underneath it as well too.
I'm tying it in.
Okay. So I would say this is. It all depends on the brand, right?
Right.
It all depends on the brand. So I'm not gonna say more higher. I'm gonna say more lower scale. I'm gonna say $60.
Okay. This is a collab with Supreme and Undercover.
Oh
and
God,
it's $221.
Yeah. Put some sleeves on that shit for $220.
Okay, what about this?
This a thermal? No.
Yep.
Okay.
Henley.
So we're gonna say $45.
Okay. That is a John Elliott.
Oh God.
It was $298. Now it's on sale for $119.20. Would you pay $298 for a thermal?
And that's why it's on sale for $119.
Right, because who is?
Because you can go
to Target.
There you go, Target. Don't leave.
Target and Jacques Panay.
Jacques Panay. Wow, I never heard that. Okay.
Well, now we're going to get straight into another segment.
Okay.
And it's what were you thinking? So I'm going to show pictures of you back in the past.
Wait, how you get some pictures of me back in the day?
I mean,
Come on.
we say social media and all that?
What the fuck? Oh, don't tell me.
You tell me.
I don't even want to play this game. Because I probably know one of the pictures you might start showing.
What?
Go ahead.
So you tell me what you were thinking behind
I was
the
young.
outfit and
I was young. My mom bought it. Because I probably know. Oh, what was I thinking?
Everything.
Oh, I was dope.
See? Right.
So, low key, I haven't even announced this yet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exclusive.
right, I haven't announced this yet. So, we're working on the deal now with Fashion Nova. So these are some of the jeans that I helped design for that. So these are like everything you see that I have on, I created. So I was thinking I was fucking dope. I was thinking me.
Yes.
From the starter sweatshirt, from the ponies, everything from the hat, everything you see on there, I created that.
Describe that feeling when you everything you wearing, you made.
It's
like
it's something like none other, but you know what? It's God, and I'm just being real. It's God. Like I'll never take any of this shit for granted because I'm a kid from the 12,000 block of Roseline that grew up unfortunate in so many ways, and all I ever had was a pen, a paper, and an idea. So I would draw stuff that I would want to wear. Shoes I couldn't afford, I would draw them, and I would put them up on my wall, and things like that. And 30 years later, here I am creating it. So it's nothing but God. It's nothing but God. But it's a testimony too that to get to this point right here, it was so many no's, it was so many betrayals, it was so many backstabs, it was so much negative shit before it became full circle for this.
That's inspiring.
You want some tissue?
No, for real, that is inspiring.
Oh man, I was feeling myself. I was coming out the Bentley. I was coming out the Rolls Royce. That was one of my. So this was during the time when you had to market what you had coming out. So I had this piston jacket getting ready to come out, and you know, you got to show the lifestyle. You got to show what it is that.
With the mean mug.
Yeah, I mean, I never smile. That is, I am smiling right here. You just don't see it. Once again. Something I created with the hat and the jacket that we came out with. And, you know, I was thinking that, oh yeah, I'm about to bang this bitch.
And you did.
Yeah.
And I must point out that the Timbs, the pants are over. It's like clean style. I love Timberlands.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh God. Oh, you know, this was. Damn, you got JD in the picture. Okay,
I see the ankles. Like the ankles been popping.
But see what I've been telling you? I'm always
the ankles been popping.
This was during the time when Theodore was making a short stint back in the industry again. So, you know, I was working with them. I did a couple projects. And hey, I'm back. Like the only thing missing with me was a beeper and a cell phone. The big brick phone.
See, and everything you represent and that you wear, it just makes me happy because it's
my era. This is what we grew up on.
Yeah, so it just takes me back, and I love it.
But see what I'm saying? No socks still.
I know, that's what I said.
You gotta show the ankles
out here.
I may do an OnlyFans ankle page.
You might get some money.
I might do that.
Let me be your manager.
I got you. Do it. Set it up. Let's go. We can start shooting today.
But now
I thought you was gonna go way back. Like, okay, that wasn't bad.
I'm never here to embarrass.
No, it wasn't embarrassed. That was you the style guru. So,
but what I like is always to how we associate everything we wear and how we represent ourselves. We represent ourselves. It puts us right back in that place. We remember where we were, how we felt.
What?
You know, it just invokes feelings.
One thing about us, right, as a culture and as a race and as everything else, right. Because myself is included in this. I know how to be a creator because I'm also a consumer.
Right.
So just like with you, right? You know how to go by. You know how to do stuff for your store because you are still whatever you do too, right? You see what I'm saying? So your consumer part takes over your creative part. Because you know when you walk into some stores, you can say, oh, they should have did this. They should have did this. Let me go do my own shit now. So by saying that, I'm saying this. Maybe when I was 13 years old, right? The 3 words you don't want to hear in Detroit when you got something fresh on is check it in. So I actually got robbed for a starter jacket before. When I was 13 years old, I had a Philadelphia 76er starter jacket that I got robbed for. Now, let me tell you about God. 30 plus years later, I recreated that jacket all over again and sold out of it.
What?
And got it back in my collection. So, I'm saying that to say this. We, as a people, we look at things like gym shoes. Women could be purses, could be clothes, could be jackets that bring back memories.
Yeah.
And maybe we couldn't get it the first time, But when that bitch come back around again, I'm buying 3 of them.
Right.
Because I'm going to wear one, I'm going to put one up, and I'm just going to lose another one.
Yes.
So it becomes a sense of accomplishments for us because it's our childhood. Because growing up in the inner city of Detroit, our childhood is defined on fashion, music, and television.
Yep.
That's what our childhood is defined on. That's like sometimes you can watch Martin all day long like you've never seen the episode 30,000 times before.
Yep.
You could watch A Different World.
And laugh like it's the first time.
Like it's the first time you've seen it. Because it brought you out of an emotion in a place where you had a happy moment and it was a great time in your life. Yep. So when you are able to tap into that emotion and you can create something that get that type of response where you can say, hey, it becomes a conversation piece, then you got it.
Yep, I agree. And then even when you said about keeping in mind the consumer, you have to. That's how you stay in the know and elevate and change. That's one of my favorite parts of owning a store is my customer interaction. And this came about from being a consumer because I would consider myself a shopaholic, but I wanted to turn that into a profit instead of dishing out all that money. So yeah, you always got to remember that in that aspect of it.
Once you start watering that passion with that faith, you'll see.
Oh yeah.
And that's why we're here today.
You got it. You got it. So I want to dive in a little bit about what's happening currently. Like we're seeing the Olympics going down, right? And as far as apparel, we see that every year Ralph Lauren provides those jackets, right? But I don't know that it's updating each year. And in comparison with other countries that are coming out like styling, like what is your take on this? And I have some pictures just to show you.
Let's see, come on. Because I got something I want to say.
Go ahead, you can say it while I'm finding
No. We're going to find it because it's going to get a little deep because I always touch on this as well too.
Okay. If I can get it right. Okay, so these are the jackets, right? But you look at others, and they like fly, like kind of elevating each time. But
when it comes to like traditional American fashion, it doesn't compliment us because we're not we're not traditional American fashion people. So what I'm about to say, pretty much. It's a lot of people that kind of may feel that way, but just won't say it, but I will. Because the one thing I've never done is tap dance around anything or shuck and jive around anything. Okay. I just been flat out and said it. I look at companies like Ralph Lauren, and it is labeled as American timeless fashion, right? But how come is it that when we have our entrepreneurs like a Fubu, like a Karl Kani, like a Maurice Malone, why is Ralph Lauren timeless? But Fubu, Karl Kani, and Maurice Malone has a time limit. Meaning that if we was to wear something from them right now, they would look like, oh man, that's played out.
Right.
But Polo has had the same design for hundreds of years. And it never played out, right? Because it's who wears it and how is it marketed. It's marketed as the American timeless fashion capsule. So when you see that, you see a certain status or what it is, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? They sell fucking Polo at TJ Maxx too.
Sure do.
And Burlington's and everywhere else too. So my thing is this, let's start tapping into some of our black designers as well too, because Karl Kani may not be as big here now, but overseas he's still generating millions of dollars.
Right.
Fubu is about to relaunch again, but Fubu make millions of dollars overseas every year too. Yeah. It's just that when it comes to us and what they try to teach us about fashion and things like that, I feel it's disrespectful because they don't give who really create the culture a chance to design things as well too. Yes,
and I agree.
Yeah,
totally agree.
Yeah,
everything you said. I don't have
no. Because it's like when you see Ralph Lauren, it's American timeless fashion.
Yeah.
But you got Fubu, Karl Kani, Maurice Malone, and they have a time limit.
And continually reinventing. And like you say, they're the trendsetters, really, because then they take from that.
Because who's the first people they put it on? Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, before we go, I just want to know, what advice you would give your younger self And what advice would you give someone like me coming up in this industry?
Younger self would be, don't worry, at times you're going to be okay. It's going to turn out right, and you're still growing, and it's never over. It's never over. And with you, I would tell you the same thing. It's like, listen, you have already done the hard work. Everything else should come easy for you right now. Because the hardest thing for you to do was decide you want to do it and actually get it done. Like all this stuff with the mics and the cameras and the clothes and the build out and the store and all that stuff, right? That was the hardest part. Everything else is going to be easy for you now. Because now you got a home base, you got a vision, and you got access and you got tools, regardless if it's a phone, this, and that,
right,
to bring the people in and create your journey with that. So I would say congratulations, because you already beat the battle.
Thank you.
You already won. You just got to keep going. And just know that you're going to lose sometimes.
Yeah.
Just make sure the wins outweigh the losses. And you're going to be okay. You winning now with this.
Yes.
Because guess what? A lot of us in our industry, a lot of us in our life are breaking generational curses.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but it's like I'm the first entrepreneur in my family. I'm the first person to do this. And I tell something that somebody told me one time. It was like it used to run in my family until it ran into me. So meaning that we stop generational curses. We want our last name to mean something. Where it be 20 or 30 or 40 years down the road, I want my kids to be able to go into an establishment and the person would come to them and be like, hey, your money is no good. Your dad was a great man, and at one point in time, he helped me out. So it's my honor to make sure you have this.
And that feels good.
That's all that can. I never want it for me. I want it for the ones that come after me. And that's why I'm constantly teaching.
Legacy.
That's what it's about.
You heard it from the Ty Mopkins yourself.
She said the.
You may face more losses than you do wins, but always make sure the wins are bigger. And while you're getting those W's, always stay flat.
That's it.